Within the Pokemon community, there's a set of self-imposed rules you can add to the games to make them more challenging, called a Pokemon Nuzlocke. I've wanted to do a Nuzlocke for the longest time. I've started a couple in the past, but never actually got to finish any because busy.
Hey, I want to do one too because I like plagiarism. I mean Pokemon. So apparently there's these things called Pokemon Nuzlocke, which is a strict set of rules that limit what you can do within the game to help make it more challenging. Obviously, I got this video idea from JaidenAnimations, and if you haven't seen her video, I mean, come on, you've seen her video. I'll just let her explain the rules.
You can only catch the first Pokemon you run into per route. If a Pokemon faints, it dies, and you can't use it anymore. And you have to nickname your Pokemon to get more attached to them. That means if you aren't careful, you can technically lose a Pokemon game under those conditions.
So I'm not going to do Pokemon Ruby like she did because that would actually be copying her, but I'm stealing her video idea because I thought it would be fun. Jaiden, if you're watching this, which you probably aren't, but if you are, I'm sorry. Notice me, senpai. Alright. Let's get right into it.
Hey, so I don't have a DS recorder because those things require me to get up and get in my car and drive down to GameStop and get one of those things, and it costs money, and I don't feel like paying for something that I'm only going to use probably one time just for this video. So I'm going to record it on my crap phone that I have here. Oh, you're not supposed to see me without my mask on. Hold on, let me just there you go. All right, let's start this, I guess. Yo, is this my room, bro? My actual room isn't this big, bro. I'm living the life up in here. Got me a Wii U too. Ho, look at that flat screen. Oh my gosh, bro, give me some money.
So I walk outside and there are these two girls ready to meet me, telling me that the big boy professor wants to see me and 4 other kids for some reason. I meet back up with my new pals, and it wasn't even the professor giving me my Pokemon, it was freaking Tyranno.
So I'm here on the Pokemon select screen, and usually I pick the fire type Pokemon because I like fire the most and I like fire type moves. But I think I'm gonna go with this frog over here simply because frogs are the closest things to turtles, and turtles are my favorite animal. And also, I think he like transforms into an actual ninja. So if you pick anybody else, you're actually weird. So yeah, I'm gonna pick the water type frog person here, Big Boy Froakie. Kermit.
After picking my first Pokemon, Shauna wanted to battle me immediately. Fortunately, she picked a fire type and I picked a water type. I easily took the dub, stacked up on Pokeballs and potions, and went on my adventure. Immediately after I stepped into the tall grass, I got confronted by a Pidgey who I caught and named Big Bird. I trained him up and we went to Santaloon City where we fought our first Pokemon gym. The leader, Viola, was a bug type specialist, and I didn't have anyone on my team that's super effective against them, so I just had to work with what I got. She led with Skirskit, and I was about to take it out with Big Bird, but Viola used a potion and I knew I had to switch to Kermit before she was killed. Vivillon was next, and after Kermit finished off the Skirskit, he learned Water Poach, which took out the Vivillon with little difficulty. Easy dubs. On the next route, I came across a Combee. You turn into like a queen bee when you evolve, right? I'll call you Princess Beach. You get it? Cause Princess Peach, but it's okay, whatever. As I was training everyone up in the route, Kermit evolved into Shadow Kermit. Arriving in Lumio City, I finally meet Professor Sycamore, and the first thing he wanted to do was battle me, and it was pretty easy because I had counters to most of his Pokemon, which were the OG starters.
So the big professor prompted me to get one of these Pokemon. He just kind of said, hey, I'll let you choose from one of these guys. And I was like, okay. But I was started to think about it, and I was like, yeah, this probably doesn't really agree with the rules of the Nuzlocke, so I can't really advance, I can't really skip this. So I'm gonna pick one of these Pokemon, but then I'm gonna just immediately put them in my PC so I'm not cheating. And nobody likes Bulbasaur, so I'm not picking Bulbasaur. This guy turns into a actual dragon, so I was thinking about him. But then there's your boy Squirtle, who's a turtle, and he turns into a turtle with cannons on his back. So obviously your boy gotta pick him, because turtles. So yeah, I'm gonna pick him, but I'm gonna immediately put him in my PC so I don't like cheat.
I also met Lysander and Diantha, who I think will be important later. After battling Tierno at Route 5, Big Bird evolved into Bigger Bird, and I also wanted to see what Pokemon I could catch on this route, but the first Pokemon I came across was a Bunnelby, which sucks because I saw a Pancham later, but I couldn't catch it, so I just scrapped it, and I stayed with my 3-man team until we got to the next route, which was Route 7. Hey kid, can you take care of my berries for me? My back is killing me. Yeah, sure, man, yeah. Go. Walking on the rocks in Route 9 made me encounter a Sandile that I named Gaara, so I had to train him up a little bit to get him on par with the other team. But while I was going through Granite Cave, he was killed by a low sweep from a Machop. That was the first death on my team, and it did not feel good. Luckily, I just got that Pokemon, so I wasn't that attached to it, but, you know, it still hurt a little bit. I arrived in Silage, I arrived in a city, and I went to challenge the gym. Kermit, this is a ground type gym, so go off, sis. Big Bird, you're not allowed to fight at all. Cool. We go in there, and Kermit stopped. Aurora, dead. Tyrant, dead. We took out that gym with negative difficulty. We walked to Route 10 with our steaming confidence, which was short-lived because Princess Beach was killed by a Dunsparce that pursued her after I was trying to switch her out for Kermit. I was so upset I had to pause for a minute before I finished the battle. I said my final goodbyes and put her in the PC box. At this point, I realized that I only had 2 Pokemon on my team and I needed to start stacking up. I moved past Geosense Town into Route 11 where I caught a Hariyama that I named Sumo. Not my favorite Pokemon in the world, but it'll do. I also went to Reflection Cave where Kermit evolved and I caught a Carbonite that I named Oreo. Get it? Oreo? Ha ha! Alright, this is a hard fight. We can win it, but I'm going to have to sacrifice a Pokemon for it. Hey Sumo, come out here, I got some berries for you. So I had to sacrifice Sumo to win the match. He was definitely my least favorite Pokemon out of my team, so if I had to sacrifice anyone, it would probably be him anyway. I'm sorry. Arriving in Shallor City, I took on the Fighting type gym. This fight had me a little scared, but luckily Kermit kind of dominated all of Karina's Pokemon. She used 2 Hyper Potions on Mienfoo, but a 5-hit Water Shuriken took her out, and Water Pulse took out the other 2. Another easy dub. And Big Bird evolved into Stupid Big Bird, so that's good. After I beat her a second time, she gave me a Lucario, but I shoved it in the box because you're illegal. So we challenged the Coumarine City gym, and this old man got bodied. Big Bird was the MVP. He took his wing and shoved it so far up Raymond's rectum that he used him as a puppet. This gym was not fair for him. After running through Team Flare and restoring the power plant, I arrived in Lumio City and we took on the gym leader Clement, who deals with electric types. I had a water and a flying type on my team. This fight was stupid hard. Since Kermit was a higher level than most of his Pokemon, I led with him. He one-shot the Amalga, and after a couple of Hyper Potions from Clement, he took out the Magneton too. Then he brought out his Heliolisk, and at first I was like, okay, 1 or 2 good surfs will end this. Kermit, you surf! So basically Kermit was useless, so I had to come up with a plan and fast because the Magneton set up an electric terrain before he was taken out, so this can and will go wrong in the next turn. So with my 200 IQ, this is the plan that I came up with. Switch out Kermit for Oreo and use 14,000 potions while slowly chipping away at his health. After it was close to death, I would bring in Big Bird to use Fly and take him out once and for all. My plan didn't work because something better happened. The electric terrain wore out, so Oreo can now tank 3 Thunderbolts before he dies rather than 1. I started to eat away at his health using a potion every 3 turns, and with the last Rock Tomb, we did it. Ugh! Who wants pizza? Pizza for dinner? Pizza it is then. Death 13. I had to train Death 13 up a little bit so he can be on par with everyone so we can take on the next gym. The Lavalier Leveré City Gym was next on my list, with the gym leader Valerie being a fairy specialist. The fight was easy at first, Kermit one-shotting the Mawil and the Mr. Mime. The problem started with Sylveon. After realizing that Kermit gets two-shotted by Dazzling Gleam, I immediately had to come up with another plan. Switch out the Big Bird because he's the only one who can tank one of those things, and use Fly until I can waste the move down where she can't use it anymore, because Fly will waste the PP of a move without me having to take damage. It worked. I sent Kermit back out, Big Bird stomped, Kermit stomped, everyone went home. 2 more badges to go. After taking a Mammal Swine across Route 16, I arrived in Anti-Star City where I had to beat Serena again to challenge the gym, which was Psychic type.
Alright, let's cross this gym off my list. Holy... Oh, this place is kind of cool. Hold up. It's kind of clean, bro. Wait a minute, bruh. Okay.
It was pretty simple. Worst thing was a close call by a power gym from a Slowking, but other than that, the dub was pretty easy. After Lysander revealed himself to be the leader of Team Flare, surprising absolutely no one, I met up with him in Lumiose and Geosenge and fought him. His Gyarados was the only thing that gave me a little bit of trouble both times, but we pulled through. I finally got to the point where I needed to fight Yveltal. I Master Balled him, and then I sat there for a minute. Yeah, so technically I encountered Yveltal in Geosenge Town. So technically he's a static encounter. So technically, yeah, I'm adding him to the team. Hey, did you hear that? It sounded like the noise of a mass disliking on a video. In my defense, I looked it up and I scoured the internet for it. Seriously, I looked at multiple websites for the answer to what I should do, and then I found this Reddit post. Jeez, dude, okay, I'll catch the darn thing. You don't gotta be so hostile. So I guess the Lucario that Karina gave me was legal, but I'm still not using it because it was unnamed, and at the time I had assumed it was legal, so it would be kind of cheap overall. I named him Pseudo, and I carried my way down to Route 18, where I caught a Torkoal that I named Zuko. So now I have the full dream team.
Bruh, we both just leave the battlefield. we both just gone, bruh. Peace out, bruh. I am officially calling this the Disappearing Act. Peace.
Going into Snowbell City, I couldn't fight the gym leader yet, so I moved to Route 21 where I caught a float so that I called Water Power because I wanted a backup water type just in case Kermit spanks the monkey. I found the gym leader messing around in a forest full of Pokemon, and I challenged him when I came back. He was pretty easy. Zuko took out 2 of his Pokemon, and Kermit finished off the last one.
Where can I find this Pokemon because I want it? That should be a legendary. Oh my god.
It's time to go to the Pokemon League. Who's ready? Yeah, no you're not. None of you are. Except him. He's good. I decided to go through Victory Road anyway because that can level me up enough, and I ran through it because Oblivion Wing is stupid overpowered, and I stacked up on 100 full restores and went into the Pokemon League. First one up was Malva, and it was an utter stomp. All of her Pokemon were fire type, so Kermit one-shotted all of them. Simple. Wickstrom, who's the steel type, was next, and Zuko, with the assistance of Kermit, took him out with ease too. I was a little worried about Drasna, the dragon trainer, but Oreo took out her team with relative ease. Now here's where the problem started. Cybold, the water type Elite Four member. I had no counters to water type Pokemon, and I had no plan going into there. I led with Pseudo, and he took out the Clotster, Starmie, and Barbarnacle, but he was pretty weak from all that, so I switched out for Big Bird so I can have a Pokemon that can hold the Gyarados off so I can hit up a full restore on Pseudo. Unfortunately, he was killed by Earthquake, which doesn't make sense because he's a f***ing bird! He sacrificed himself so that Pseudo can be healed, and he finished off the Gyarados once and for all. And with that, one of the OG members of the team wouldn't get to see us finish this. Me and all of my Pokemon made a vow that we would win this for him. He's a f***ing bird, bruh! I healed up the team and we took on the champion, Diantha. Here we go. She led with Halucha and I led with Kermit, who used extra sensory and one-shotted. She sent out Gudra next, and after learning that water does nothing to her, I withdrew Kermit and sent out Pseudo. The combination of Disable and Oblivion Wing destroyed her because Oblivion Wing is ridiculous, dude. It does like 40,000 damage and it gives me health back, correlating to around half the damage I dealt with the move. It is stupid, dumb powerful. And with the help of Oreo, he took out the Tyrantrum too. Next was Aurora's, and that thing had Thunder on it, but it's weak to Water type, so Pseudo had to disable the move. With that opportunity, I took out Zuko to tank some of Aurora's hits while I healed Kermit. He finished off the Aurora's, and I switched to Zuko when Gorgeese came out. A few good lava plumes, and she was gone too. Gardevoir was her next Pokemon, but I already knew. I won. The thing that I hid from you guys is that Death 13 had a move called Destiny Bond, which might be the single strongest move in the franchise. This move does no damage, but if it lands, if the user's Pokemon faints, so does the opponent's. So basically, if Death 13 dies, so will Gardevoir. So I was saving Death 13 specifically for this moment all the way back when he first learned it. Kermit baited Gardevoir into using Moonblast, but it killed him in the process. I switched out for Death 13 and he tanked the Moonblast and used Destiny Bond. She proceeded to use Psychic, which killed him. Just what I wanted. The conditions have been met. She was killed too, and we did it. We won.
Jeez, dude, what's wrong with you?
I just completed the Pokemon Y Nuzlocke.
Dude, you deserve a Nobel Peace Prize.
So that was the Nuzlocke, everyone. I need a nap, food, and I never want to see another Pokemon again. Goodbye.